Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're talking about CGC Comics refusing to grade a customer's comic book and then still charging him for the grading later on. This is something I was not super aware of because I've never had like a CGC graded book or a book I've sent down to CGC be rejected to be graded. So this was very interesting to me. This is a friend of the channel sent me this, and I'm going to show you the video of him showing the book in question. But this is the labeling that they put. Like they put it as like a reject. Do not encapsulate. I've seen this before when they are making like a pre-screen, like if you do a 9.8 pre-screen. But this is a situation where the book was rejected, and these are the possible things: overhang, sticky substance, explicit, not a comic, miscut, COA, unable to authenticate, too tall, too wide, too thick, or other. Politically offensive. Okay, so you could probably see where this is going already, but the other things I was, those kind of make sense. Like the book doesn't fit in one of the slabs. It's not actually a comic book. There's something wrong with the book. But the big one that kind of stood out was the explicit thing. And I started racking my brain, and I was like, I don't think I ever can remember a completely nude cover being in a CGC slab, and I think that's against their rules or their guidelines. So this is the communication that I had with the friend of the channel. He reached out to me, sent me this short of, I'm assuming this is his son unboxing this, and this was the communication he sent me. He said, yes, they put it as a reject. The reason for the reject is it's politically offensive. And this is the story of how it came to be in the possession of CGC. I gave it to an actual CGC representative in Spokane. So he gave the book to somebody in person who looked at the book, I'm assuming, when they were receiving it, and didn't deem it, they didn't say, hey man, you can't do that. Like then they took it from him so they could charge him. The book has been graded before, but with other covers. So it can't be the interior. I had called them to make sure that they had the right date for this book, and they took the information. They never communicated at the show on the phone or email that it was rejected. I said, did they charge you? Yes, I have to contact them to make sure I get credit for that. So right then and there, it lets us know that this book has been graded with other covers. So the cover is the only problem with this. It's nothing to do with the interior or the subject matter. And this is the information in question. It says, comic description, a global pandemic saga unfolds, 624 Cowabunga, Comics Trump Man Foil Edition, reject white pages, or grade white it says. So without further ado, let's take a look at the video and let's take a look at the book in question.
So we got some big news here. CGC has a political agenda. Look at this. It says
here you go, showing this.
This book is politically offensive. What do you think it could be? Like, it might be something bad. No! It's one where an ex-president survives an attempt on his life and then shows his love for our nation. You might think, oh, this is an isolated incident, or oh, he's a controversial figure. But they've graded stuff that are way worse. There's evidence that this has been graded on eBay. Look it up, and it says, and it's one where the good guy, the supposedly good guy, punches the president of the United States while he's simply carrying out his official duties. That is egregious. That is unpatriotic. So, which one's worse?
All right. So this is the book in question. It says "Make America Great Again," 45 Trump, and then he's got like an American flag draped over his shoulders with a encrusted diamond America piece there, and he's got some blood there trickling from the ear, kind of coming over into his mouth from when he was shot at or hit. And then you've kind of got like broken glass looking like a bullet hole right through the middle, and then attempted shots fired in the bottom, kind of reminiscent of like explicit content in like on a music album. So if any of this looks familiar to anybody, it would be because it's an homage to 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, one of my favorite rap albums ever, probably my favorite. You know, he gets high all the time, he's on some good shit. So this is, I don't know if the people in question knew that this was like an homage, and definitely the people at CGC didn't know this was an homage. But what the heck happened here? So like, there were some people saying, you know, this is a lot. This is, you know, we're talking about like an assassination attempt. We're talking about, you know, this with a former and now a current president. Like this is, you know, this is a little kind of crazy, especially with the insinuation. But this is an homage cover. If you guys have kind of kept your finger on the pulse of like other comic books and things that have been coming out, like the homage covers are a thing. So the crux of this video is this picture here and then some other things here. First off, CGC making a statement, you know, I can understand like them not wanting to show big floppy boobs or big floppy junk like with their, you know, CGC labeling on that. I get that. But obviously that cover was not like disparaging. It was kind of like a triumphant thing. What do we have here? This is Haha. This is Haha from 2021. I actually have read this miniseries. This is from the same creators that did Ice Cream Man. Here we have a CGC graded 9.8 copy of this, but hold on a minute. It's actually signed and remarked. I have done a video on this cover and another cover we're going to talk about here in a minute previously. If this, okay, this is not politically offensive. Now you can argue, you know, there's no violence, there's no insinuation of violence here, but would you say that this is a politically offensive book also? And then also having the creator on the CGC premises to sign and then remark these, and just, you know, how many of these covers did he do? How many of these have been slabbed? This has been slabbed. So this is the same book with a different cover. A global pandemic saga unfolds. Cowabunga Comics. This is not a ringing endorsement of this comic book. I think it's kind of like low-hanging fruit. Like, hey, let's grab the zeitgeist of what's hot, and the presidential election is obviously what's hot right now. But like, how is this acceptable? Like, not only do we have this graded, but we've got a signature series. And if you guys don't know, a signature series is a witnessed signature. It's not the JSA authentication. This is a witness signature, meaning that person was either at CGC's headquarters doing a signing, or they were with CGC at some event or something where CGC witnessed this and said, "Hey, this is good. You know, this can be graded." You've got blood. You've got violence. Obviously, this is not politically offensive. But let's talk about this for a minute. This is kind of the other whole crux of this video. Is the Savage Dragon number 119. I was not aware of this comic book until this short. This is straight up Savage Dragon assaulting George W. Bush on the podium, and then with the caption "bushwhacked." Okay, this is violence against a political figure, and at the time, which would have been 2004, the presidential candidate, presidential elect. In the top cover of the notes, it says President George W. Bush cover and appearance. You know, they didn't put like George W. Bush punched or something. That wasn't, you know, that didn't make the cut. But my thing with CGC is if I'm sending my book down there for you to put it in your piece of plastic, put it in your piece of plastic. Is it on them to decide what's offensive, what's explicit, what's acceptable? Like, no. Put it in your stupid piece of plastic, slap your grade on it. That's what I'm paying you for. I'm not paying you to be this arbiter of like saying what is offensive or what's not. They're literally putting their political ideology or their political meter of gauge meter of what's offensive and what's not. Is this offensive? This is Amazing Spider-Man 583. President Barack Obama cover and backstory. We've got a Barack Obama inauguration day. This is in 2009 with Spider-Man kind of taking a picture behind. What is the line here? Like, if President Obama was standing there triumphantly in a similar situation that Trump went through, are they saying that that's politically offensive? I think the answer is no. I think we all know that. But it's just the games. It's games that they're playing. And this is incredible that we have, like, real proof of, like, CGC kind of being politically charged. And if you want to know who's kind of running the show at CGC, I'll show you a clip that they've deleted off of their Instagram where they showed the inside, the meat and potatoes of what's inside there. So I'll finish this video up with that clip. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give the thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.
Hey, Christy, can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
What do you do here at CGC Comics?
I am a modern grader here at CGC, which means I grade books from 1975 to current day.
How do you get experience for this type of job?
Well, it's not something that you can actually get professional training for. I've been collecting comics since I was about 5 years old or so, and I used to sit on comic shops with my mom floors and do the have to have it, maybe
God.
baby, and the do you really need this pile? And for me, while it wasn't actual training for it, I would like to give my mom credit still for that.
She
What's
is so
your favorite
nervous.
part of the job?
Ooh, for me, it would probably
Scared to
have
death.
to be getting to see all the cool grails that come through. First time I saw Detective Comics 27, I got a little bit misty-eyed.
What are you looking for when you grade a book?
For me, it's so much about eye appeal. I think there's this misconception about 1 + 1 = 2 for grading, and that's just really
Eye
not
appeal?
the case. You can have the same defect on multiple different books, and depending on like how light it is, the location of it, things like that, can give you completely different grades. So